You're such an asshole.
So one of my favorite podcaster, author people I like to listen to is Turd Flinging Monkey, and I disagree with him on some things, but he's an excellent author. His book, The Way of Monkey book, is one of my favorite books. Very practical, and he has a canon of work, that's impressive, to say the least. And he made the point one time that despite all of his work and all of the deep thoughts and contrarian positions he takes, he is going to die most known for being the person to Photoshop a smile on Brie Larson's face when she was doing her Captain Marvel girl boss or whatever it was. That went viral. And then all the leftists were like, how dare you Photoshop a smile on, That's what he's most known for. And I kind of have a similar situation because I wrote probably what's my most successful book, Bachelor Pad Economics. And in there, I talk about the Smith & Wesson retirement program, and that as a polite way of saying ending it so that you don't piss away all your money and fortune on medical bills when you're about to die anyway. And I didn't realize it would accidentally contribute tremendously to the psychology industry. You're like, well, how did a book on economics and financial planning contribute tremendously to the psychology industry? Because it provides the best test to see if you are autistic or have Asperger's. It tests to see if you're on the spectrum. Because what happened is, in the retirement section of Bachelor Pad Economics, I said, well, if you're critically ill and it's painful and you're terminal, there's no reason to be hooked up to a life support machine and having $8 million sucked out of your estate that could be otherwise be passed on to your children. And so you have the Smith & Wesson retirement plan, and everyone who is autistic and had Asperger's says, I can't believe Cappy endorses the ending of one's life that starts with a SU and ends with side, right? Can't say it because we're not adults here on YouTube, apparently. And it's, for a while, that's what I was most known for. And then I wrote an article about a feminist, what was the movie? Mad Max. And I became more known for that. So like TFM, he has all this great work. People aren't going to remember him for Brie Larson Photoshop face. And I am known for the Smith & Wesson retirement plan, only second to I said I'm not going to watch a feminist Mad Max movie. Forget all of our previous work. And so let me explain very clearly what the Smith & Wesson retirement plan is. And if you don't understand it, bam, you're autistic, go talk to a therapist, okay? If you don't understand this, kind of like the tall, if you're dumb, you don't understand the tall Asian argument. Most Asians are not tall, but I know a tall Asian, low IQ. Guaranteed, low IQ. You're not smart, right? I mean, you're maybe not dumb either. You're just, you're like a 95. Hey, there's got to be dumb people in the world too. Most women don't work as hard as men. I know a woman who works twice as hard as men. Dumb. Low IQ. So when I say Smith & Wesson retirement program, you're like, oh my God, Cappy's for ending your life early. Not only autistic, probably Asperger's too, also dumb, low IQ, right? So I'm going to explain it, and we could test a lot of things about a lot of people's intelligence and whether or not they're on the spectrum. The Smith & Wesson retirement plan is when you are diagnosed with a terminal illness. And not something like, you got 5 to 10 years to live. Okay, that we're all terminally ill in that sense. Like, you got months to live, and not or, and you're in tremendous pain. Okay? Or crippled. Life is not worth living that next 3 to 6 months. And therefore, instead of wasting a significant percent of your estate and money on keeping you alive and miserable for the next 5 to 6 months, right? You instead end it with a 50-cent bullet. I'd have to take a look and see what a 45 caliber hollow tip costs nowadays. And you pass on the money. This is maybe why boomers are really upset with the Smith & Wesson retirement plan. They're like, pass on. Wait, what? Pass on the money. Pass the money. Don't I just on my last second, the doc says you're about to go in 5 minutes. Don't I just take all my money, turn it into cash it into actual cash, and I just light it on fire? Isn't that what boomers pass on? What do you mean pass on? I don't get it. You pass on that money to your children or your grandchildren or a nonprofit. You, instead of wasting tremendous resources that could go and benefit the future generations who have a future, instead of you wasting it on keeping you alive and miserable 3, 5, 6 months, whatever, you say, yep, my time has come. Let's go out with a little bit of dignity. I pass on my estate to so-and-so, and I take myself out back and do that. Okay? Now here come, do we have any autists in the audience? Anyone with Asperger's? Anyone not comprehend that most Asians are short? Do we have anyone going to make those comments now? So with that in mind, let us continue on with the request. Hello, Cap. I would like a video reply, please. Please keep me anonymous. Consider this hypothetical situation. A young man in his 20s decides he's going to use the Smith & Wesson retirement plan, sometimes in his 60s, rather than retire. He is a minimalist, has no debt, prefers solitude, is a productive member of society. How might that impact the way he plans and lives out his life? You're wrong. Okay, the Smith, why you don't? Smith & Wesson retirement plan is when two instances both occur. You are given a relatively short term, you are diagnosed as terminally ill and are going to die in a relatively short amount of time, and you are in pain. You can be living a great life. Look at RFK Jr. He's banging some 38-year-old chickie babe or something. Why? In your 60s, why would you arbitrarily and unnecessarily end your life? Your time is the most valuable asset you have. That's the only asset anybody has. Why would you say, about this time I'm going to go? Furthermore, I have another question. You list the traits of an individual who sounds like they'd have a wonderful retirement, who doesn't need the money. You're a minimalist. You have no debt. You prefer solitude. You're a productive member of society. Why would you end it any earlier than it has to be? Right? I mean, if you like solitude, you don't care if you get the girls or not. You enjoy being by yourself. The world has so much to offer. And what I got to do, I got a link down below. I got a link to a book called The Menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. There's so much to do in this world. If you're a healthy 60-year-old, why would you? My old man, almost pushing 80, went on a hike with me. He made it. I mean, we weren't running or nothing, but he did it. Why would you end it? And especially if you don't need the attention and company of others, well, then my God, man, even more so. Like some people are like, oh, like I could understand men being addicted to women. I need to have a girl in my life. Otherwise, it's not worth it. And it's like a drug addiction, which makes your life miserable. And so, but I need a woman in my life, which is going to cost you money and your peace and and torture. Then I could see, all right, I can't live without it. It's going to be a tortured existence if I don't get it. I can't psychologize. I can't meditate myself out of this. Maybe I'd still argue, well, there's plenty of you left to do. But you're a productive member of society. You have no debt. You're a minimalist. So your finances are set to go. You probably have enough money to last you until you're 100. And as long as you're in physical shape, why would you not go to 100? Why 60? Dude, I'm 60 is 10 years away from me. You think hell fucking no. I'm just starting. Go take a look at whatever, my Instagram or my Twitter. I hiked a mountain yesterday. Got a beautiful 360-degree view of kind of the border between Nevada and Arizona, just north of Kingman. Why 60? That's just why. If you played it right and you were healthy, you're cutting away a quarter of your life. Wait until it is painful and there's not that much life left to live. Then consider it. But you are misapplying the Smith & Wesson retirement plan here. So then you got this question, how might that impact the way he lives and plans out his life? Well, if you want to erroneously end your life unnecessarily earlier than it needs to be, you would need a lot less money than you do now, or maybe not a lot less, but some money less than you do now. I mean, if you want to apply some numbers to it and get some estimates, what you really ought to do is you got to figure out how long you plan to live. Best way to do that is take the average of all four of your grandparents when they died, some of which may still be alive today, by the way. Average that out and add 4 or 5. So to err on the side of caution, you want to save money until 85, let's just say, right? Depends on, you might have tremendous long. You might be Asians. Not all Asians live to 100. Somebody shoot them now. Get rid of that person. So whatever, let's just say it's 85. And then there's plenty of online retirement calculators. If I have this much of living expenses each year, how much do I need to have saved up until 85? All right. So that's however much money. But then if you cut it down to say 65, you're going to end it at 65. You just decide that's the day, no matter how healthy or how many hot, big-titted redheads are sucking your dick at that moment. No, it's over. It's over. Bill Belichick, or the football guy who's got himself a 25-year-old hottie. Yep, it's over. Well, then you run the numbers with that how much do I need for retirement calculator, of which there are many on the internet. You run the same calculations, but you put the end date at 65. And that should tell you how much you need to save given your current age now. But I'll just say you need a lot less money. You also say you're a productive member of society, so you're probably going to work, maybe not full time or in a job that you hate, but you're going to work in some kind of capacity because that's something to do. It's a foreign concept for you Democrats. Imagine that. You got to the point you didn't mind work. Actually gives you something to do. It's a crazy, I know, instead of just sitting there and doing pot and drinking Adderall or whatever you do and then bitching and whining about Trump, they might actually have a life. Go do something productive. I'm not picking on you. I'm picking on Democrats. You probably don't need a lot of money at all. It whittles it down a lot, but it all depends on where you live, what your current living expenses are and all that. So I can only speculate. But how will it impact it? Yeah, if you're alive fewer years, you need less money. There it is. You could be even more of a minimalist if you'd like. But the whole point of being a minimalist is so that you have freedom to spend your time how you want. So it's kind of contradictory. You're a minimalist. You want to have the maximum amount of your free time to yourself, but then you're going to end it unnecessarily at 65. That doesn't make any sense at all. I would be a minimalist and live as long as possible. I mean, I don't just go hike and hit the gym and diet because I like it. Matter of fact, I only like one of those things. Oh man, if I could, I'd eat my mom's cookie dough all day. She makes the chocolate chip cookie dough. It's the best recipe ever. It's like, don't cook the fucking, I made you chocolate. What do you mean you made them? Don't tell me you made them. Did you save some dough? She didn't save any dough. I could eat pink box donuts every day. That's a donutier, if that's such a thing out here in the Vegas area. I could go to the West Side and eat Capo's risotto, which is just made with pure butter every freaking day. And I drink again. Yeah, but that would, I don't know, that's going to shorten my life. I don't like the gym. But I do all those things to extend my life. Why? Because I do want to have the occasional pink box donut. I do want to go for more hikes. I do want to go motorcycle riding and shoot guns. And tons of blowjobs from big tig-bitted redheads until I'm RFK's age. And then some. Yeah. So mathematically, how would that stupid decision impact your life? You just need to save less money. The math of which I'm not going to do. You could do that online with an online calculator. But should you do it? No, you are. I don't know why you are misapplying the Smith & Wesson retirement program. So link below, I have Bachelor Pad Economics that kind of goes into it a little bit more detail about it, but I think I kind of explained it very clearly. And then also the menu. I mean, if you're bored, there's a ton of stuff to do. Go get the menu, Life Without the Opposite Sex. Just don't read the women's section. That's for women. All right, let's go to the super chats. Big Shell 007, $2. Man, the Glock retirement plan. I don't think it really matters at that point. I mean, it's up to you. This is where your personality can shine. You can do however you want. I just don't recommend a 22. Make sure it's a big caliber bullet. Make sure a shotgun, perhaps. You don't want to leave a mess. Kind of go off into the woods one final and last time. Let everyone know, like, hey, this is, not that day. Like, let them, no, I'm doing this. If I start getting wanky or I get like an early diagnosis of Alzheimer's, just so you all know, so it isn't a shock, you're going to find my body in the forest somewhere. And it is kind of a selfless thing to do for your family or your inheritors. Big Shell again for $5. What if you're in a country where you can't get an S&W? Bow and Arrow retirement, been enjoying Kingdom Come Deliverance too, by the way. There I would, you could fly to like Canada, I believe. I think some states, Oregon and Montana, allow for assisted death. I don't know. You're going to have to figure that one out. That's other people in other countries' problems. I know here, even in California, you could do it. Or you could just walk downtown San Francisco with bags of money and then they'll kill you. All right, that's it. Questions, answers, Asshole Consulting. I'll see you guys later. Toodles.